Earth's Toughest Student Astonished Classmates with Deathworld Tales, Part 3. Welcome back to Sci-Fi Humanity, where we bring you incredible stories from the far reaches of the galaxy. Today, we're diving into the thrilling continuation of Earth's Toughest Student Astonished Classmates with Deathworld Tales, Part 3. Join us as we follow Diana and Caleb, two human students navigating the complex and often hilarious interactions with their alien classmates. From biology class disasters to cultural misunderstandings, the adventure never stops. Let's jump right in and see what chaos unfolds as our Earthlings share more about their wild planet with their extraterrestrial peers. Okay, wow, that went a hell of a lot worse than I thought it would, Diana said to Caleb. Both of them were walking to their dorm for lunch. According to Earth time, it was Friday afternoon, and the two just finished biology. However, the lesson had gone less than smooth, to say the least. Well, how was I supposed to know that they would freak out over our planet's wildlife? Caleb responded. Caleb, it was your idea to make a slideshow on our planet's wildlife, and you knew full well that almost everyone here is already scared shitless of us. Did you really think that they would have taken kindly to a picture of a crocodile? Most of the people here have never even seen a predator before. Well, it still could have gone worse. I was going to put in some pictures of some of Earth's sea life. Diana rolled her eyes and shook her head. I still think we should have shown them our country's wildlife. I mean, New Zealand doesn't even have predators. We have birds. And that would have been racist. Diana's head darted towards Caleb, her face in complete shock. Excuse me. What? Well, you know, with the Alkyne being bird-like and all face-palming, Diana's face turned one of disappointment. Caleb, would you find it racist if someone put a picture of a monkey or an ape in front of you? No. Well, if that's the case, why would the owl confine birds racist? Caleb let his thoughts run through his mind for a second before responding. I guess you have a point. But they aren't us. We don't know what they find offensive. I didn't want to take the chance. Yes. And the alternative was discard them all for life, causing several of them to faint in the process. As the two bickered, the reverse shell gag was following the duo. Both Suit Gok and Owl Shan were with him, who were busy bickering amongst themselves. Group leader Zokdok said we should attack while they're distracted. Kill them now. All Shan stared intensely at Su Coco. What, have you not heard a word I told you yesterday after my class with war veteran Vika? These beings aren't to be trifled with. A head-on attack will surely end in our defeat. Pool coward. We outnumber them. They have committed great sin. Their punishment must be swift and merciless. Turning to the duo, Al-Gag hissed at them. Enough, seize this foolish nonsense. We must focus on the task at hand. These demons must have a weakness. And as he said this, the reverse ceased and waited for Al-Gog to continue. You both have a point. We cannot fight them head-on, or we would be defeated easily. But punishment must be swift and merciless. Allah Shan, you're already on good terms with the one in the red hood thing, right? I suppose so. You will continue your mission to find these demons' weakness. Once we find it, we can exploit it and strike them down as the Great One intended us to do. While this was going on, Diana and Caleb had stopped talking and heard the talking behind them. Spotting the three rivers, Diana recognized Al Shan being one of them. Caleb simply looked confused. Hey, what's up with them? He said, no clue. Hey, wait a minute. Upon closer inspection, Diana could make out Al Shan among. Hey, I know him. You do? Which one? They all look the same from this distance. Diana looked at Caleb with a slightly angered look. Caleb, remember how I said that showing an Alkyne pictures of birds isn't racist? Yeah, well, saying shit like that is racist. Oh well, let's go say hello. Maybe they aren't scared of us like everyone else. Fine, but only if you don't say anything that will piss them off. Also, let's make it quick. I'm hungry. As the two humans walked over to the river trio, Sudgok gasped in fear. Oh no. Group leader. The demons have spotted us. Also unchuckled at Zod Ghost's fearful face. Ha, and you call me the coward. Relax. I know one of them. They will not harm us, you fool. As he said this, Olsen approached Diane, and Caleb Al-Gug followed, as did Zood Go UK, but not without extreme hesitation from the latter. Greetings, human Diana. What a welcome coincidence. This is a yeah. I guess that's one way of putting it. Al-Gag spoke up. So, Al-Shan, this is the mean human you told me about. Were you going to say Deathworld, or because it's fine if you do? Diana responded. Yeah, sure. My name is Al-Gag. Oh, cool. Diana looked behind Al-Shan to see a shaking Zood Guc. Who's that? Polish turned to Zood Gok with the look of disappointment on his face. This is Gokak. He's never seen a human up close before. As he said this, Al-Shan slapped Zood Guc in the back of his head. Get a hold of yourself. She isn't going to eat you by the grape one. You're an embarrassment. On turning back to the humans, Al-Shan gestured towards Caleb. And this is another friend of yours, I assume. Oh yes, this is Caleb. Diana responded. Just so you're aware. If he says anything that sounds offensive, he doesn't mean it. He's just stupid. Caleb glanced at Diana, staring daggers at her. Diana looked at them, smirked, and turned to face the reverse once again. Well, it's been a nice chat session, but me and Caleb are heading off to our dorm to eat lunch. Very well. Al-Shan said. I'll see you in our next war class. With that, the two races parted. Al-Gag led his reverse back to the cafeteria, while Diana and Caleb went to meet up with the others at their dorm. From what Jen had told them, Mr. K Heroes and Ethan Alia were going to be there again. The two had taken an almost concerning attachment to human cooking. When the human duo arrived to their dorm, they were greeted to the sight of Mr. Cairo's mid-food coma. Ethan Alia said that we taken a bit too big a bite of his food, and had been like this for the past 5 minutes after the display. She made sure to be more careful and take smaller bites. After a bit of shaking, however, Diana was able to bring Mr. Kairos back to reality. I saw him, he said with a panicked breath. Saw who? Diana asked the human god of food. He creates the most godlike of meals. Anna was, to put it lightly, concerned for her history teacher's well-being, but pressed on. Okay then, who did you see? Okay. Had white robes and a more yellow version of what you humans call hair. He was holding a knife in one hand and something else in the other. I'm not sure what though. Diana, now weirded out even more, decided to change the subject. So I'm in your class next. Have you decided on what it will be about? Huh. Yes, I have. It's about what your race calls the digital revolution of the mid-2040s. I think I am going to need your help, though. I've had very little time to research human history. Oh, Diana responded. That's the point in human history where cybernetics became mainstream and widely available to the public. Walking into the living room, Jen spoke up. Well, it's better than most of human history, honestly. Gone 2 decades back, and you would have had to cover a pandemic that killed millions, and humanity's near self-destruction from war. I still have no idea how we as a species got past the 2020s. Tyler said while eating a burger of his own. Yes, Mr. Gay Hero said that's all well and good, but let's focus on the 2040s right now. Diana, you mentioned something called cybernetics. What are those? Diana for a second or two looked puzzled. You don't know what those are. But is in your race at least a millennia more advanced than us? Well, yes, but from what I've heard and what I've read in the short time, I've studied your race. You humans seem to have developed technologies that no other races dare to touch. While this mostly goes towards weaponry, given your races earn past conflicts, there are a good number of outliers. From my perspective, it was at that moment that Diana realized that Mr. K Heroes wasn't joking. His race never developed the concept of cybernetics. In fact, if he, a history teacher with access to a galaxy's worth of history, didn't know what they were, then that meant that no other race had developed the concept, and yet humans had such things in their mind for centuries. She realized that she would have to explain to her teacher what they were and just how powerful they could be. Diana finally responded, "Well, cybernetics are pieces of machinery that we have implanted in our bodies. They boost all sorts of things, both on a mental and physical level. Back when they were first mainstreamed, you had to have surgery in order to get them planted. But now you have them put in from birth and are taught how to use them as we grow older. All of us here have them." Mr. K. Heroes was taken aback by what Diana had said. What she had described was the fusion of flesh and blood with steel and wires. Such a concept was unthinkable to the Alkyne history teacher. "Wait, so you mean that this entire time you five have been running around juiced up on robo-drugs?" In response, the 5 humans laughed. Even a thought Alia let out a small chuckle. In all the years she had been to this school, she had never heard Mr. K. Heroes say such a thing. "No, Mr. K. Heroes. We can turn them on and off, it will. Actually, we were sort of told that we should deactivate any of the ones that enhance our strength and speed in case we break something important." A shiver went down with Talia and Mr. K. Heroes. Not only did these humans walk around with godlike strength, but they were holding back finally, after being silent for most of the conversation. Atholius spoke up. "Just how strong do these things make you?" Diana thought on the question for a second. "Well, I once saw my uncle punched through a wall of titanium with his activated back home, but I'm not sure how strong we would be here." After that, Mr. K. Heroes decided to put himself back into a food coma in order to cope with what he asked for the history lesson. It went quite well. Diana's fellow students slowly began warming up to her, and Mr. K. Heroes managed to keep his composure this time. In fact, the students were actually finding the concept of cybernetics quite fascinating. By the time the lesson was over, a couple of students even asked Diana a few more questions about them. A few hours later, Mr. Chi Heroes had just finished up some leftover paperwork and was heading back to his room to wind down for the night. As he walked past the humans' dorm, he heard faint yelling coming from inside once again, as it seemed common with these humans. Curiosity got the better of him, and he decided to investigate. What he found was not what he expected. All 5 humans were watching some sort of program on their living room TV, and after watching one human tackle another to the ground, and what looked to be a very painful way that made Mr. K. Heroes flinch, he heard sound of disappointment coming from the humans. "Damn it, Roger. You should have passed the ball." Caleb yelled at the TV. "It's fine," Tyler said. "We've still got twice as many points as them." "Yeah, but Tom was right there." He even looked at him. While this was going on, Mr. K. Heroes walked up to the back of the couch and spoke up. "Huh. What's with the yelling?" The humans turned to look at Mr. Chi Heroes. "Oh, rugby. New Zealand versus Australia," Diana said. "Want to watch?" "Sure," Mr. K. Heroes said awkwardly as he sat down in an empty seat. As looked at the humans, he noticed Jen called up to Diana. "Hey, I may be intruding, but are you too?" "Yes," Caleb, Brody, and Tyler said in sync. "Ah," Mr. K. has said before refocusing his attention to the rugby game. Wow, that was another wild ride on SciFi Humanity. In this episode of Earth's Toughest Student Astonished Classmates with Deathworld Tales, Part 3, we saw Diana and Caleb's attempts to educate their alien classmates about Earth's wildlife go hilariously awry. From biology class mayhem to cultural blunders, our brave students faced it all with humor and resilience. As they continue to navigate these unique challenges, they form unexpected bonds and gain valuable insights into the diverse perspectives of their extraterrestrial peers. It's a journey filled with laughter, learning, and a few tense moments that remind us just how fascinating and unpredictable interspecies interactions can be. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss what's coming next. Stay tuned for more amazing stories from the frontier of science fiction. This is SciFi Humanity, signing off.